Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of New to Weeaboo. This is number 111 for November 29th, 2023. I am Nemesis, and I am joined by Alcatraz.
Hello.
Final episode of November. Yeah, we were able to squeeze in 3 this time. This happens occasionally.
Yep.
So, a couple things, I guess, anime-wise. First of all, I guess the Scott Pilgrim anime dropped on Netflix.
Whether you want to consider it an anime or not.
Yeah, that came out. I have not had a chance to watch it yet myself, but
I've heard good things. But
I've heard very good things about that. Apparently, Gurren Lagann is coming back to theaters. Then they're showing the Gurren Lagann movies in theaters next year, and the tickets are go on sale December 8th. So, yeah, if you're looking forward to that, maybe consider going ahead and buying a ticket.
Yep, that might be fun to see in theaters.
And then, the one thing, things apparently are really dire at Mappa.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah, basically someone assembled a list of all the bad things that have been happening in Mappa. That basically, it's much worse than a lot of people thought it was.
Yeah, it sucks because they're one of the studios that does really good work and really good shows, but it's also we
kind of know why it's so good now.
God, yeah.
What was it? There's one of them where it was rough as heck, though. I'm trying to, which one was that? It's a somewhat recent one. Yeah, Mappa did it in kind of rough as heck. I'm trying to remember. It's fairly recent. It was Hell's Paradise. Apparently they did that. Apparently animation was pretty rough on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it? They did that Jujutsu Kaisen movie in 4 months.
Dear God.
Which it's a feature film. That just doesn't happen.
No.
And part of it is apparently part of it is straight up they get the license to an anime. The people who give them the license give them plenty of time, and then the Mappa studio heads just kind of
no, you're gonna do it sooner or
do it faster.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to do so much. They're trying to blow up in size really quickly, and yeah, they're not doing it organically like these other studios did. They're just kind of trying to speed run it.
Yeah, you can't do that. That's how you burn out your entire studio, and that's how it's. I think it's starting to happen. Yeah, we've commented on that before.
Yeah. If a 20-person orchestra could play this piece in 3 minutes, how fast can a 100-person orchestra play it? That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
God, yeah.
Yeah, they just throw bodies at it. And on top of the anime industry in general just being really bad about this sort of thing, well.
Yeah, the only thing you can increase by adding people is simultaneous projects.
Yeah, potentially.
But, even then.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Stop
for me personally.
overworking your employees.
One of those things that's oh boy, now I'm torn about, Zombieland Saga. I love Zombieland Saga, but
it's great.
That's Mappa.
and that's a tough one. It's you want to support the animators and the people doing the work, but how do you support the people doing the work without also supporting the executives who are hurting them?
Well,
if they have independent work, if they have art commissions or whatnot, but that's not very common.
Let's be real though. How many of them actually have the time to do that?
Exactly. Yeah, as I said, if they have stuff like that, then you can do it that way. But good luck finding ones that do, because they can't. They're too overworked.
Yep. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Hoping that's something changes.
Yep. Hopefully. Unfortunately, the thing that breaks is usually the studio entirely, and everything goes to crap.
Yeah.
Hopefully, something will happen for better then.
Yeah, studio head getting kicked out. Yeah, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about, more Evangelion, like we said. Yeah, Evangelion, rebuild of Evangelion 2.22. You may not advance. Or Evangelion Shin Movie Ha.
Shin Movie Ha.
Yep, it is the second rebuild movie. And this is the one that's where we find, this is significant deviation. A lot of this is new compared to what was in the series.
Yeah. A lot of things are different.
Yeah, pretty much, everyone, from the first movie comes back. Shinji, Misato, Rei, all that stuff. And of course we get, quote unquote new character, Asuka. She's back too.
Well, they have more names to her.
Yep. Asuka Langley Shikinami.
Yep.
She's still her very
bratty
self. Yep.
The self-important. I'm the best.
I'm the best. She's
The
number
best.
one. She doesn't need anyone else. Actually, maybe I do need
Wait a
somebody
minute.
else. Maybe I do need other people.
Yep.
Yeah, so, and of course, the series newcomer, Marie Makanami Illustrious.
Illustrious.
Yep.
That's an interesting name.
Illustrious, yep. She's the new character who shows up. She's very weird. Literally, the movie opens with her doing the kind of a weird pseudo Evangelion unit, which is not super great, but she manages to defeat an angel, and then in the process destroys the Evangelion unit, just as planned.
Yep. Because schemes.
Yeah, because scheming and all that stuff, and she winds up in Japan and also piloting Unit 2, and the whole thing there. She's a weird girl, and so far we don't really know a whole lot about her other than she was able to get into the headquarters and steal an Eva unit.
Yeah.
Just right out from under them. It's like, okay.
They didn't explain that one. It's like, okay, but they went with it because, they needed her. She was there when they needed her, and she stole it, but to do what they were going to do anyway.
Yeah.
Because there was an angel coming in, and they needed to stop
there.
it, and Shinji was off being depressed.
Again. Okay, so running through this one. So it starts off with, the thing with Marie there. And then we go back to Japan, and things are actually starting to go better in some ways. Shinji gets, a compliment from his dad.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Rei.
Praise.
He seems to be getting closer to Rei, and then, Asuka shows up and kind of throws up things out of bounds a little bit. Actually, not that bad, really, all things considered.
All things considered,
All things considered, she's, annoying, but, she's not terrible, I guess.
Not great, not terrible.
Yeah, then things got actually going bad for real, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get a little bit more, also a little bit of backstory, but then, of course, they try to activate Unit 3, and that goes bad. Asuka's piloting it, and then,
turns out there's an angel.
It turns out it's an angel in it, and hey, look, this is kind of familiar, except it's a bit different.
Yeah, a little bit different.
Shinji has to fight her, except he won't do it, and then they use the dummy system, and that just utterly rips through the thing, and he's freaking out. He's like, I'm out. And then he, throws a tantrum in the Eva unit. Takes
the Eva unit and starts trying to tear down HQ because he's pissed.
Yep. And then he leaves, and then another angel shows up, and Unit 2, Unit 0, all 0 all fail to stop it, and then he shows up again and is able to stop it, but then goes beyond the bounds of humanity.
Yeah.
And then he gets stabbed. But guess who? His boyfriend. No. Kaoru.
Kaoru finally shows up
on Earth.
But again, it's like, that's kind of a callback to the first revealed movie. Very end. Hi, Kaoru. End. The next one. Yeah. Hi, Kaoru. End.
He was there.
This time he's closer.
He's also in this movie earlier, too. We saw, he's like, say hello, father.
Yes.
He's on the moon.
It's on the moon.
Without any sort of breathing apparatus.
Shh, it's fine.
Again, kind of leading credence to the thing of he's entirely human.
Not entirely human. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the other thing. I want to discuss that a little bit later. There's a bit with him. But yeah, so this is the significant deviation finally, because the first movie is, it's just a remake, and then we get kind of the wait to the end, and no, it's not a remake, and here it's like, it's definitely not a remake.
Not a remake. There's definitely changes. Depends on how you want to define
too.
Remake, but it's not just a 1-for-1 copy remake.
I would say
it's not a remaster.
At this point, it's not a remake anymore.
Yeah.
It's the thing where we see, which is, it's a remake. We fooled you. It's actually a sequel or something. It's something different. It's not a remake.
Maybe.
We fooled you. That's happened before.
Things are different. Yeah, well, maybe definitely, and I don't know what's going to happen in the next movie, but this one, you could still say that it's the same thing is happening, just the details are different, but it's still the same story, because the process, the steps that are being taken are still the same. The angels show up and they have to fight them, and the angels are still trying to get to Lilith, and this is all the same story. It's just
the setup
which
is the
angels,
same.
Who's where. But yeah, things are starting to drift further and further.
Yeah, in the original series, Kaoru was the one who was piloting the Eva unit that became an angel and then died.
Yep.
And here, Asuka was the one piloting it, and she survives, and then Kaoru shows up later. What?
I'm just questioning my memory on things. Because didn't Kaoru get all the way to Lilith just by himself?
I don't remember in the original series. I think he might have. But anyway, regardless, he was
and
not
that's how
the
they
one.
found he was an angel. Because all of a sudden it went pattern blue. Went completely insane.
Yeah, something like that. Any which way, yeah, he was piloting an Evi. Yeah, that was a whole thing there. But here it's nope. Asuka survived, although
sort of. They haven't shown, at least in this movie, how much we know, but like they never showed her after. They just said she was. They did that whole thing where
the preview literally showed her just fine, except with an eye patch.
Preview. In the actual movie, no, they
said she survived.
Yeah, they said it, but they did the whole thing. We say she survived and get all weird about it and never show her actual body, leading you to think the worst.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just it's a trick. It's a tactic.
Okay. But considering everything, considering that Eva, just chomped down on her pod, is that surprising?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole thing where we see Rey actually, again, she's, talking about, stuff like she feels warm around Shinji and she wants him to feel warm and she's trying to, get Shinji and his dad on good terms, and
Rey's starting to show emotions.
Yeah, Rey's like showing genuine affections
herself
and whatnot, and like it's again, she's a different character. She's a better character in my opinion than she was in the original series. Again, so actually a generally more interesting character who didn't all of a sudden just have a whole bunch of crap thrown on top of her at the last second to try to make her an interesting character.
Right.
She's no longer a perfect waifu who just obediently does whatever you tell her to.
God.
That's always the thing with like anyone who says, "Oh, Rey's the best girl," and like give you a bit of a side eye.
Red flag.
Why do you like Rey so much? She's kind of a nothing character, and that's kind of the point.
Yep.
But here, she's a bit different. Let's see. Oh, we see. What's her face? She's like the class president. I can't remember her name now. She's not a pilot, but she befriends Asuka here a little bit, and I can't remember her name.
Oh, yeah, and the lunch sharing thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what her name is.
But she doesn't.
Hikari.
Yeah.
Hikari Haraki. Yeah, I forgot about. Yeah, she doesn't do much here because I remember in the original series she had a bit of part to play, but
Hikari.
Yeah, she had a bit of a minor part to play in the original series. But yeah, we'll see if she like shows up again in like the third one.
We saw a lot more of the other ones that have shown up are, Ritsuko got more airtime. The blonde scientist. I know from the original one, she's her mom built the three mages. That's what I know from the original. And then the dude,
him, Ryoji.
Yeah,
Kaji.
Whatever his name was.
Yeah,
Ryoji.
Yeah, him. He shows up again.
Yep, he knows things he's not allowed to talk about, and he has history with
Misato, too.
Yeah, with Misato and Ritsuko.
Yep.
And we know
he
was in the original, too, so we know about some of his history. We'll see how much of it's changed.
Yeah, because we also see a thing where like, he's kind of maybe a little flirty with the doctor there, and then, boy, Misato's not happy.
Yep. Jealous. But she won't admit it because been there, done that. Don't want to go back.
It's one of those weird things. It's like it's always been that weird thing. Like she knows he's bad for her, but she still can't help it.
It's a common trope,
especially when a woman that much of a mess.
Oh yeah.
In general, anyone who's that much of a mess is going to make stupid decisions. Like, I'm going to get back to with my ex again.
It's such
and
a
then,
trope.
oh right, I forgot. I remember now. This is why I broke up with them. I'm gonna break up with them again. Oh man, I miss my ex.
Yeah,
the X on the cycle continues.
Yeah,
but Asuka, yeah, and here we see Asuka also. That's a nice thing is Asuka as a character. They tweaked her a bit. She's still bratty, self-important and everything, and has a massive ego, but like we see the softening of her, like, the bit where she's like, I'm not comfortable being alone anymore.
Right.
And, kind of crawling in Shinji's bed and just says, shut up and just don't stay, keep facing that way.
Yep.
A begrudging respect coming from her, and even towards Ray. Even like first, like she's like angry at Ray all the time for multiple reasons.
Yeah, yeah. She likes to call Ray the teacher's pet and daddy's boy because I'm the best. I got in here by skill. You didn't. Yeah. But then realizing it's a little bit more to it than that.
A little bit more. Yeah.
But and then she got all splody.
All exploded. So like, yeah, with her as well, there's also the other thing where it's like we see kind of, again, she does also start to come around to liking Ray as well. Although, yeah, it takes her a bit longer on that one because she just doesn't get her.
She's hard to get. She's kind of stoic and silent.
Yeah, it also doesn't help that Shinji and Ray seem to be bonding, and she's just over here feeling weird things. She doesn't like what she's feeling.
Yep.
One thing I noticed, actually, which I was interested, if you remember in this original series, Asuka had a weird crush on Ryoji in the original series.
Oh, yeah.
And that has not popped up yet.
Yeah, there's still time for it. I mean, because Asuka's going to come back with an eye patch. But
in fact, it's almost like, does she actually really know him that well in this version?
Yeah, there was that whole kind of weird bit. Because that's an age gap.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not exactly, uncommon for a teenager.
Right, it's not.
Crush on an adult. I mean, he never like showed any real sign of actually reciprocating. Outside of just keeping her vaguely happy enough that she's gonna go all pissy and do something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's the one who would throw get upset and then get in the Eva. Oh no.
Yeah.
Because can't do that. So yeah. I mean, we see again with Masato did the same sort of thing with Shinji, just kind of, remember then, I think in the end of Evangelion movie, kind of, promise sex if he did the Gon the robot.
Yep, whatever it takes to get him to do what needs to be done.
Like, yeah, again, a lot of people see that as, she's attracted to Fortune. I see it as she's willing to go as far as she can to manipulate a 14-year-old into doing what needs to be done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I remember that was the whole thing. She knew she was dying, too, if you remember, at that point.
It's like, I'll make the promise because I know I'm never going to be able to keep it.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about actually keeping it.
Because I'll be dead. It was a sort of like an ends justify the means kind of a thing.
Yep. We see that she has that kind of cold calculating part of her, which is willing to get the job done no matter what it costs.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Marie is just an odd character so far.
Yeah.
She hasn't actually. They never actually mentioned her name in the actual anime, at least as far as I remember. Her name's in the credits.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if her name was mentioned in the her phone calls that she was making.
I don't think so.
Someone called or she announced.
I don't remember hearing her name everywhere or seeing it on the subtitles or anything. But she's odd. She also seems to be, somewhat like Asuka in that she, is just highly skilled, but she also is it's unlike Asuka, who's very much, very full of herself. She's more of a weird, playful type of person who's also kind of weird about Evas in general, like, the smell and, the feeling and it's like how much fun it is. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
A little weird.
She's a weird one.
To say the least.
Yeah. There's got to be a term for it, like that personality type, but it's escaping me. But there's some red flags.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, so her as a character is like, so she pops, there at the beginning, just kind of establishing her, and then that was all the thing was like threw me off because they're speaking English at the beginning. I'm like, what? Did the audio track get screwed up? Because the Blu-ray I have is English and Japanese audio. They get screwed up because it's happened before to us.
Yeah, it has.
It did not actually. It was just they speak English in the beginning. Actually, several of those actors actually were doing a pretty decent job of sounding American.
Yeah, they had pretty thick accents, but
some of them
did pretty good.
Some of them actually did not have much of an accent at all. Some of it you could tell is like no, not really an accent, but definitely kind of stilted.
Yeah.
But then you got Ryuji, who's like, well, he's Japanese, so he's supposed to have an accent. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. But yeah, they got that. Then her parachuting into the school, landing on Shinji. He's like, what?
Of course, chest first.
Apologizes to him, and then like, you smell like LCL.
Yeah.
And what? And then she just kind of leaves. Doesn't explain anything, leaves. And then again, then she steals the Eva unit and goes out and fights it. And she does this thing. She turns off the limiters, and they're like, "Wait, that can." Then a lot of them are like, "Wait, that's a thing."
Yep. She knows things about the Evas that are just kind of, oh, okay.
Yeah, she knows things. That's why does she know that? That's another mystery. I guess we might have to see what will be solved maybe in that later episode, later movies.
Yeah.
But we'll see if that actually is a thing. If we get that. She goes really hard in on it. Eva gets torn up, and she keeps fighting for a while until she can't anymore.
Yeah, she activates beast mode. Literally, she activates beast mode.
The beast.
Yeah, apparently that's the code word, the activation word.
Should make the code word a little more difficult to guess.
Probably should. They figured it's in English, so it's fine.
It's fine, right? Yeah, then of course, you get American. I'm going to unleash the beast, and then what's going on? Whoops.
Yep.
But the other thing was, oh my god, the scene where Shinji is basically taken hostage in his own Eva because they started up the dummy plug. Yep. And the dummy plug just rips Unit 3 to shreds with Asuka in it.
Yep.
Like, it's just horrifying. You see, like, everyone is horrified except, of course, Gendo.
Of course. Because world's best dad.
Yeah, world's best dad. Again. Yeah, like, everyone's just utterly horrified by, like, what's going on. It's
as it rips it to
utterly
pieces
brutal.
with its teeth at
it's
times.
Like, this is overkill.
Yeah. Yeah, and imagine that. Being stuck inside of the machine, basically watching yourself, as it were, rip apart and kill the thing your friend is in.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
just aim to like her.
Yeah, that's just.
Yeah.
The fact that he was even able to have the mental capacity to take back the Eva and go beat up HQ afterwards, and not just be a just complete mental wreck.
Mm-hmm. Kind of wild.
Yeah, that there is a kind of thing that puts someone.
Oh, and of course they had to kind of put a very light-hearted song over top of everything too. It's like,
yeah, isn't that part of the chorus for Eva?
A little bit. I mean, it's just like this very light song. It's like
that evokes the song they cannot use.
They can use well, the song that other one sounded like it sounds like the ED.
From the original. I don't think they can use that one.
They can't use Fly Me to the Moon. They can use the Calm Sister Todd. That's what sounded more like. Something they was, I believe, written for the show anyway. So
it's
like,
a bit interesting because it was evoking Calm Sister Todd.
Probably just they didn't want to just reuse it because it's kind of cheap in a sense. Like, not in this like actual financial events in a sense like that's kind of like come on. That's kind of like, the Remember Berries thing.
Right.
Then again,
I still kind of want to hear it again though. It would fit. Like, I wonder if they're just saving up.
I don't know. And the other thing was, at the end, when Shinji gets back in Unit 1, and, after the thing where, he had his whole thing where he's running away again, because I don't care, I'm running away, I don't want to deal with this.
Too much.
It's too much, and, we got the weird, again, the train scene where it's like him talking to Rei, but also talking to a younger version of himself, because it's all in his head.
Yep.
And, like, and that's kind of him pointing out to himself that, hey, yeah, you're just running away again, and and then he's like, no, it's fine for me to run away.
Sometimes.
Sometimes it's okay for me to just shut out the things that cause me pain. It's like 2 degrees, sure, but other times actually no. The healthier thing is to face your pain head on and deal with it.
Yep, it's not a cut and dry thing. It's sometimes, especially in this time, like your pain really sucks. But people are literally dying, and you're kind of the only one to help.
That's the thing. He gets in Eva Unit 1. He gets in the Unit 1. He starts fighting it again, and he runs out of power and is like, oh no, that's it. And then no, it turns back on, and he's still fighting, and also Ray's now in the Angel because she got absorbed because the Angel nope,
the Angel ate it,
and everyone's like, oh crap, that's not good.
Because apparently, because the Eva's part of it now, it won't set off the auto-destruct when it gets to Lilith.
Mm-hmm. There's all that stuff. So he's, somehow piloting Unit 1 even though he's out of power and, like...
Went berserk again, just like the first time.
They're like, they're commenting about the whole, he's pushed beyond the bounds of humanity, and it's like, oh boy, we see the unit changing. We see like a weird dark halo thing pop up over his head and like, or the Eva's head and like all this stuff.
Arm regrows suddenly, sort of.
It's a glowing arm.
He gets a fake arm. He gets a divine arm.
Yeah, and then he's like, well, they're like, you need to destroy it. It's like, I'm going to, and Ray's in there. He's going to try to save Ray. And Ray's like, no, you can't save me. He's like, yes, I can. I will save you.
Screw that. I'm going to do it. How about I do anyway?
Yeah, and does it. And they're like, oh, crap. And like they're saying, like, this is the end of the world.
This is the third impact. It's happening. It's happening.
The Eva has no longer contained. It's in its true form now. And oh, boy. And then Kaoru shows up from the moon. And the
witch came from the moon.
The wizard came from the moon. Yeah. He shows up, spears the Eva unit. And then, like, that just stops everything. And he's like, and he's saying things are going to be different this time, Shinji. Or whatever, that sort of thing. It's like, again,
this time,
like, again, the whole, is this actually a sequel?
Yep.
Which is weird, because none of them seem to remember what happened the first time around, which is interesting, except for Kaoru.
Yeah.
So it's like, again, I'll probably see more of that in the next couple movies. But that's the interesting thing, was I noticed when Kaoru was coming down, after he speared Shinji there, phrasing, his Eva unit had that halo thing over it.
Interesting.
I noticed that. I was like, oh, that's interesting, because when that happened with Shinji, where they were like freaking out, and like I was like, that's important.
It is.
That's got to be important. And the other thing is also
what has halos?
Is again when we saw Gendo and his assistant, I can't remember his name now, at the moon, because they're building that Eva unit there, and they're looking at it, and just Kaoru's just sitting on it.
Just chilling.
On the moon. No spacesuit. Which, not normal behavior.
It's fine.
Humans usually need to breathe.
It's
and
fine.
yes, you might be aware, there is no air on the moon.
It's in the, well, I don't know if it's in the future or not, but it's an alternate reality. It's fine. Space magic. But yeah, this is it's getting real good.
Yeah, it's like, okay. Now we're out in the point where it's like, okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to run some parallels between this and the original and end of the really big angel that all three of them had to defeat, that Shinji held while Rei caught the core so Asuka could stab it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was freaking massive, and I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was massive. But I'm wondering, because there was another one that seemed similar to, but was different. There was a big orange flying thing. But I think it was in End. I don't
remember.
But I remember that one dripped. It tried to get in by dripping like an acid thing. But it had a very similar, if I remember correctly, it had a very similar death sequence, because it was long, elongated, and kind of bulbous. And they killed, and it fell down, and then exploded. So I'm wondering if like it's a parallel to, or if we're going to see it. I don't know.
Again, this is the point I think we're going to have to start, go, okay, most of this stuff is just not,
anymore.
Yeah, it's not really comparisons anymore, because they are very different.
Yeah. Like, we haven't had the being absorbed into the plug yet.
No, we might not. We might not very well not. We didn't, for example,
they keep like,
we didn't have the Asuka and Shinji need to synchronize thing, and it looks like that's not just going to happen.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. It's
like,
just
they keep poking at what seems to be similar to it when the plug depth gets too deep and they're going to lose their humanity. It's like, is that going to be it? And then no, okay.
At this point, I'm not really expecting much to be the same as it was.
Yeah, especially now with Kaoru showing up at this point with what's going on.
Yep.
Like, we had a spear come in, but it wasn't the spear.
It wasn't the spear.
We've seen those. I mean, it's still in Lilith like it was in the original, but yeah.
There's another thing, which is, Misato there, we also get a little bit of her, story again, the whole, father died.
Father died in the second impact.
Yes, Impact sacrificed himself to save her, has a bit of survivor's guilt and all that stuff, and for her, a lot of this stuff against the angels is very much a vengeance thing, and so on and so forth. We got that. We got the again, her complicated relationship with Ryuji. Okay,
which they haven't delved into the history of yet, but we know it exists.
We just know at this point, there was a thing. They had a thing together, and now it's not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
That was a great scene when Ryuji shows up to talk to Akagi, the doctor. Like, oh, I already fed the feed into the tapes, and there's an angry woman looking, and they look up, and there's Misato just planted against the glass, pissed.
Yeah. The other thing was they kind of replicated the Shinji first movement with Misato. They did that with Asuka, a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
What the heck is that? Seeing the penguin freaking out.
Yeah.
Of course, the beer cans conveniently placed. And
Yeah.
then, of course, Misato moving the convenient place when only find out there's another thing conveniently placed.
Convenient censorship.
Yeah. Now, of course, the ending of Asuka then kicking Shinji because he looked at her and
because she
forgot she was naked.
The house naked because it's
it's
totally Shinji's
his fault. He was just cooking. He was just washing dishes.
Yeah, but isn't that the trope?
Yeah, it's his fault because he exists.
Yeah,
it's so interesting seeing how how much we veered away from the original now. We just veered away pretty hard. So yeah, again, they're definitely holding up on the whole. Oh yeah, it's not actually remake. We're not doing remake stuff anymore. This is all new from here on out.
Yep.
Might occasionally make references to the original, but yeah, from here on out, it's pretty much new.
I will say, the budget differences are definitely apparent. Oh my god, this looks so good.
Yeah, this one came out in, what year was it?
2009.
2009.
Yeah, released in 9.
Summer 2009, so a couple years later.
Yeah. But they didn't have the budget issues that they did.
No more budget issues. They got money. They got infinite money, basically.
Yeah, and it freaking looks amazing.
They got FU money.
Yeah.
And it looks great. They did a lot of good stuff. A lot of it looks great. Again, the music's great because this is a weird thing where it's like I'm noticing the music's starting to deviate from, like I talked about, the first movie had music that's very similar to the original series. In fact, as a lot of the tracks, I believe, were probably just basically the same, more or less the same score, right? Maybe probably not the same recordings, but regardless. But here we're starting to get a little bit of deviation in the general music from the original because, well, the story itself is deviating, so that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Beyond that, I'm trying to think of anything else kind of important. I mean, we saw Rey in a tube again, and again the allusions to the clones, but again, Shinji would never refusing to let her die and gets her out, and
yep.
Yeah, still great. Although, again, I've heard things that the third movie's not so great.
Oh, boy.
I've heard the third movie's the bad one, essentially.
It's the bad one.
Especially since the Funimation, they're kind of forced to translate it a very specific way because they first showed it and the people from the studio were not happy with the audience reaction.
Oh.
Because, yeah. So we'll see how that works out. Hopefully,
The question is in which direction, because the whole what Netflix went through with the
it's pretty much the same sort of
thing.
It's pretty much the same exact sort of thing. The studio had major control over the translation, regardless of whether or not it makes sense or not, because they came in and just kind of redid a lot of stuff and said, no, you have to translate like this because we don't want it to be that way.
Yeah.
They were laughing in what places they weren't supposed to laugh, type of thing. They interpreted that as bad, not realizing it's just people having a good time at a convention. Whatever. We shall see there.
We shall when we get to it. That's coming up next time.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so far I would say movie 2 is still pretty good.
It is. It is a lot of fun. I'm really liking what that's there.
Yeah. Well, fun is kind of probably not always the right word.
Well, what is fun is up to the individual. It's enjoyable to watch because it's well done, even though it's also kind of depressing.
Yep. Here's your depression again. Yep, Shinji and his depression. Although, interesting enough, one other thing I want to point out is Marie there actually seemingly kind of getting through to him in a way that's actually, somewhat healthier.
Yeah, which is weird because she doesn't seem to be the most mentally stable. But then, in a way,
she doesn't seem to be unhappy. So hey,
yeah, so
she's unstable in a different way.
Yeah. She doesn't exactly care about her own humanity.
Yeah, so there's that. I guess we'll go ahead and call it here.
Yep.
Great movie still. I'm kind of hesitant about the third one, just again, I keep hearing how bad it is from people, but who knows?
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't just improperly taint our expectations.
Yeah, I guess that's it for this one. Hope you liked it, and if you did, you could check out other episodes of newdweeboo.libsyn.com, spelled LABSON. You can check out all episodes there. Subscribe to the RSS feed there, or you can subscribe via other services such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and Amazon. Those are all still things, although Google Podcasts, I think it's dead now. I don't know if it's dead now or what, because I know, it still works as of this point, but I know it's supposed to die soon-ish. Just don't know when, because, Google likes to kill their things.
Yeah.
So there's all that stuff if you want us to keep subscribed and, keep up to date with the podcast. If you want to contact us, you can do so via email, newtoweeaboo@gmail.com. If you have any questions or comments or recommendations or what have you. There's also our still various social media. You can find that at newtoweeaboo.libsyn.com/contact. And there's all our social media will be listed right there. And of course, you can find our personal accounts through those pretty easily. And that shall be it. Again, we'll be doing the third movie next time. It's Evangelion Shin Movie Q, or of course Evangelion 3.33. Not 3.333. Because that's apparently the IMAX version.
Aww. Well, you mean you just don't have an IMAX here?
Oh, yeah, apparently there's a 4K release, which I don't have. I'm probably only Japan, so
probably. You just get the IMAX thing. We can fit an IMAX screen in here, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. How tall is that again? How tall are those again?
6 stories tall, something like that. That's fine.
I think the homeowners association would
just show them the benefits of what it would give to the community.
Free movies.
I mean, look, get our own IMAX. I'm certain they'll be willing to pitch in, right?
Yeah, okay. But yeah, actually, we'll be talking about the third movie next time, which will be December, by the way.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's post Thanksgiving now, so it's time.
Yeah.
If you're ready or not, it's here.
Winter is upon us.
Yep. As it gets colder, make sure to bundle up and all that stuff. Keep yourself warm. Mm-hmm. Make sure to remember to buy your gifts. Don't put it off to the last second.
A lot of people did that on Friday because, Black Friday is a thing.
Apparently Black Friday was actually the physical stores weren't actually as packed as they usually are.
I think the last couple of years been like that. I mean, the pandemic definitely helped with that one, but there has been more of a trend to online shopping for Black Friday, so it's been easy.
Doesn't help that also they're like, Black Friday is pretty much Black November now.
Yeah, it's just everyone starts the deals early, which is a good thing,
I guess.
Because people don't,
except for the big deals. Like I know Target had PS5 for $350.
Yeah, but it means people aren't getting literally trampled to death.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it for this one.
Yeah.
We'll see you next month.
Yeah, we'll see.
Take care of yourselves and stuff. So, bye.